Hey, how are you? It's John from Valley Farm. Just doing a instructional here for you on pea tendrils. And I don't do shoots, but there's not much of a difference in how you do this. So if you're doing pea shoots, which are just the ones that go straight up with the leaves, this is the same idea, but these are tendrils. So I normally wouldn't show you soil spreading, all right? But I'm gonna on this one because it's different, all right? So what I do is instead of giving it two of these big old monster heaping scoops, I give it one, and then I give it like a level scoop, maybe even smaller than that because the first one was so big. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread this, okay, as evenly as I can. Now with these ones, it's not, even as even, but don't go crazy. All right, and what I want out of this is I want not quite full. All right, I want like an 1/8 of an inch lip. Well, in the beginning here, sorry. Well, the soil's dry. I want, about an 1/8 of an inch, I would say, right? And it's kind of hard to see on camera probably, but I'm just looking for a little bit of a lip, and the reason for that is because the pea tendrils seeds, the peas, they're just green peas or yellow peas, are round, and it's way easier, to spread the seeds in in a flat that's not quite full. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna probably go with some kind of a fast forward effect here. There we go. Half. Half. Chunk. Spread those up. I don't sift my soil because it seems like it's a waste of time to me. Pretty fluffy as it is. I get a lot of perlite in there. And if I get a chunk, I just break it up. All right. So I usually spread to the corners. And then I just kind of spread the middle. All right. This one's got a little too much, so I'm just going to take a little out. Put that back. All right. There we go. Now it's like, just barely an 1/8 of an inch, because when you wet this, it's going to compact a little. So, you want it to not compact so much that, you have a huge deficiency in soil here, because you don't want too little soil, because then the stuff's going to start drying out. The roots aren't going to have anywhere to go. But, that one might have a touch too much. But I'm going to roll with it. Now, if you just fill these and you don't do the lip, it's just going to be a little more difficult to plant them. It's not going to be impossible. It's just, over the years, I've planted so many of these sometimes that, it just makes sense. There's a chunk, we'll break that up. Now, once I'm done with these, let's talk about peas. So, we're going to discuss peas here. I'm going to bring you with me while I spread soil. We're going to just yap about peas. Can you see me all right? There we go. Now, pea tendrils are a real high seller for me. I get $3 an ounce straight up. I get $2.50 an ounce if you buy a pound. I get $2.75 an ounce if you buy 8 ounces. So $22 for 8 ounces, right? $40 a pound, or $3 an ounce. That's a pretty good yield, or a pretty good profit margin, considering that I take about 10 to 12 ounces of peas. That's my range, okay? 10 to 12 ounces of seeds, and I grow them, if everything goes well, into about a pound of pea tendrils. All right, so if I grow a flat right and sell it at the discount rate, I'm gonna spend $1.75, I think, on a flat. That's not including electricity. That's just seed and soil, and I'm gonna make $40 on that. Now that does make up for some other losses. So some of these items, we'll get into the financials someday here, but some of these items you make a lot on so that you can grow other things that you don't make as much money on. All right, this thing never focuses right. All right, so here we go. I'm going to spray these down. Now with peas, I want these to be wet, but I don't want them to be crazy drenched, because I've noticed that I get rot if I drench them a little too much, all right? They get anaerobic. So I got my sprayer. And I'm going to go over with a quick dusting of water, I call it. I call this like the glue down spray because it glues down all those particles that want to blow away on you, all right? That's obviously not enough water, but it keeps stuff from flying away, and it keeps it from settling out too much. So now I'm going to go through, and I'm going to go like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10. That's probably good. A little bit on that side. You can feel when you pick them up with 2 fingers, you can feel if they're even. All right, and then you also want to make sure that the back side, see that corner picked up and went right up. That's not enough water. And now it feels even. You can really get a good feel for that. You know, when you pick it up with 2 fingers. See how that one side pops up farther? It's real easy to figure out if your water is evenly distributed. Sometimes I'll go down and just hit the backs because they get neglected. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, man. This is like the tedious part. I get annoyed with repetition. But I don't mind. I guess it's fine. When you're doing it for yourself, it's not that bad. There you go. And the last one, the one against the wall, that's the hardest to do. Good. Cool. All right, so we got our trays wet. We get my seeds. There we go. I've got my seeds over here. I gotta get a gel pack. Okay. Okay. Got my seeds in this bucket. All right. Now, come with me. Allez avec moi. All right. Seeds. Check it out. Slight germination on those pea seeds, right? Is that the right way? Get this when I do these. See? Can you see? Can you see? You're getting a slight germination on these pea seeds. Okay? Oh, this way. See the tails? There they go. Okay. That's not necessarily ideal. It's also not that bad. All right. I soaked these. I think I did 11 ounces per flat because it depends on your seeds. It's going to be between 10 and 12 ounces. All right. A little hoarse today, but you have to adjust that if you get bigger or smaller seeds. So that's the way it goes. Right now I'm at 11 roughly, but it's not a big deal if I go 10 or 12, and it's still going to grow. But I went 11 because 12 was a little too much for these, you know, but I want to maximize yields. So I took these seeds and I rinsed them pretty well, and then I soaked them for 8 hours. Okay. Nope. Yep. Yeah, it was 8 hours. But you could go as short as 6. I tried to go 6, but it's just the way it worked out. You could go as long as 12. Sorry, my ear just, you know, depends on your seeds. You got to figure out what your seeds want. And these ones seem to do well, 6 to 8 hours, 11 ounces German, or 11 ounce rate. All right. And I'm going to yield about a pound, which is fantastic if they grow correctly. Now, the thing that sucks is I like when I do these videos to show you some that are growing, but I don't have any. I harvested them all because I'm a little crunched for space here in the grow room right now. So I'll grow a batch of these out and then I'll skip a week. And I'll harvest them and I'll sell them. I'll harvest them on like a Tuesday. I'll sell them Tuesday and Friday. And then, you know, I have the next batch that's going to come out that next week. But sometimes I'll get another day out of them and they won't be in the way. So I batch grow these. Wait, did I get that right? No. I'll sell them Tuesday and Friday, and then I'll sell them the following week as well. And then I'll have another batch that goes on. Anyway, this is a 2-quart container, or a 1-quart Del Pack container. We call these Del Packs. They're, I don't know, in the restaurant world, that's what we call them. They also call them 1 quarts. I don't know. I call it Del Pack because that's what you get at a deli. That's what we've always called them in my world. But anyway, I was a little shy. So we're going to get these 4 done. Then I'll show you what we do. All right, we're just getting a good... Now the lip from the soil is helping us from getting these, having these bounce over the edge. When I pour them in, I try to get them spread out as good as I can. It's helping them from bouncing over the edge, and then it's also going to help us spread these seeds. Now, peas are going to grow. Hopefully, you're going to germinate these bad boys, and these are a bottom layer, okay? So we're going to put another layer of something on top of them. You can put as many as 3 layers on top of them. I don't recommend it. They do need a little airflow when they're germinating, I find, that it helps, or you're going to get white fuzzy mold. And I will try to get some photos of that type of thing up on the instructional, okay? Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah, so this is a bottom layer. You're going to seed them, stack something on top of them. They're going to germinate for about 3 days, maybe 4. And then you're going to uncover them as soon as they start to push up that tray, about 1 inch, the one that's on top of them. You're going to uncover, unstack them. Actually, I guess the better word is unstack. And then you can, if you seem to need the airflow, you can take the paper towel off, okay? Like if it looks like you have a little bit of mold maybe, you want to get maximum airflow. So you take that paper towel off. If not, so I got a little too many seeds here. I got about another 2 flats. So I think I did 7 pounds of seeds, by the way. So I think that's going to end up being 12 or 10 flats. Anyway, so... You can take your paper towels off at that point, or you could leave them on, and you're going to do a dome, an inverted dome, and this will be a separate video, but I'm going to describe it while I'm spreading seeds. And you will, so you'll dome it, and then you'll get height over the course of a couple of days, depending on the temperature of your grow room. And your pea seeds, some just grow smaller than others. Sometimes there's challenges. Preferably, you can do 3-4 day germination, and then like 2 days for height. That gets you to 6, and then 4 to 6 more days to get into tendril. Okay, and that's when they start to fray out. And you'll see pictures of those in the instructional. Okay, so here's the one I'm going to show you. So I kind of spread these. I just kind of roll them, right? When I do this, somewhat, I'm rolling them a little, and I'm tamping them a little. And I'm not trying to eliminate air in there. I'm just trying to spread them. And when you tamp them, they kind of push each other aside because the soil's pretty wet. And then you can do one of these, okay? The only problem in this room that I have, because this room is at like a pitch, is when I do that, they all roll at me. So I try not to do that as much. But if you have a flat surface in a flat level room, you can, get back here. You can just shake them and they will spread out for you. And that's the reason you got that little soil with it. One of the reasons. All right. So to recap, we've got about 10 to 12 ounces of seeds soaked for 6 to 12 hours, depending on your seeds, depending on how they're acting. I did germinate these for a day, not by choice, but it was more by necessity. Normally, I would soak for 6 to 8 hours, and I would just plant them immediately. You never are going to want to germinate these for more than a day if you do, because then, for some reason, they just like to mold. Sometimes if you're having problems with your pea seeds, you can do a peroxide sanitization step, which I will show you in a peroxide sanitizing video on its own at some point here. But in a nutshell, you're going to do about 5 minutes, 120 degrees water with some peroxide, and then you'll see the bubbles. And you know you're in sanitization land. You want to stir that up occasionally over this 5 minutes, and then you just rinse them and you plant them. All right, so I recommend doing that sanitizing step on your first batch. Say you get 50 pounds of seeds, you want to do that on your first batch just to see what your contamination level is. If it really foams up, then you've obviously got some contamination. You may need to sanitize them every time. These ones were really good, really clean, came through real well. I got an excellent yield. I got these from Mountain Valley, or True Leaf Market, they call it. And you can find a link for that I will provide in the notes. All right, here we go. We are all spread out. Now we're going to paper towel. I'm sure I just lost track of what the hell I was saying. That's what. Oh, wait, I missed the step. Soil contact. Now it's not as important with the peas because they're pretty good anyway. They're not going to move much when you do this, but you do want to get them wet again, right? Because they're starting to dry out on me a little bit. Not dry out, but the surface isn't wet. So, and this just helps the paper towel stick anyway. I probably forgot to mention in the other video I did today that the other thing the paper towels do is it keeps these things from drying out. It's the big one. It blocks light, emulates a layer of soil, but it also keeps these things from drying out, and it keeps them from sticking to the bottom tray that you're going to put on top, the bottom of the tray you're going to put on top of it. So that's why I use paper towels with all my stackable microgreens. And you know, I know some growers that don't do paper towels on peas and sunflower. I just do because it's cheap enough, it's easy enough for step, and it's going to be guaranteed that I don't have any sticking, and I don't have these things growing into the holes at the bottom of the tray above it, and I don't have the roots from the other tray growing into this and pulling them apart. And, you know, I just don't like to play that game, so I paper towel all these. These paper towels are pretty cheap. You get 6 rolls for like $28 or something. And I don't know, I mean, I do a lot of microgreens, and I go through a case of these bad boys, like, I don't know, maybe 3 a year, if that. And we use these in our packaging situation too, so I use a lot of these. Yeah. So we're gonna paper towel these all, okay? Then we're gonna spray them. Then we're gonna add another layer. I'm gonna do basil on top. That's irrelevant. You can do anything on top if it's a topper. Or you can do another layer of anything else and then do toppers. That's not that big of a deal to do one thing and then another layer, but since I wet these so much, you don't want to go too heavy. Whoop. I always forget when I'm doing a video that I can't just blast them because they blow around me. Oh, come on! Okay, this is interesting. Good enough. Jesus. I'll leave that a little exposed. Cool. Here we go. There we go. Those are pea tendrils. I'll get some pictures of some pea tendrils and some growing pea tendrils and stuff, and I'm going to shoot another video of unstacking so you can see what that looks like, hopefully with this batch. Hopefully they turn out well. Thanks very much, John from Dolly Farm. I appreciate your patronage.